Hello there, my Padawan learners, and welcome back to the channel. Today, I have a very exciting book review for you guys. This is a childhood favorite of mine, the show at least, but the books are recent. But before I dive into that, I just got the coolest birthday gift ever, and I can't even fathom the words to say it right now, so I'm just gonna show it to you guys. But I got a video recording from the main voice actor of Danny Phantom.
Sarah, hey! You're wondering who this is, right? Did you guess yet? Did my voice give it away yet? Okay, I'm deliberately pitching it a little lower, but now I'm gonna go into the voice that you probably know better. Sarah, happy birthday from your favorite Toon Boy, Danny Fenton. Well, actually, Danny Phantom. Although I guess I have to say I'm going ghost. Of course, then I become Danny Phantom. But Sarah, it is me. It's David Kaufman, voice of Danny.
6-year-old me is so happy right now. Calm me down. I am trying so hard not to fangirl. My brain is just imploding from that. The video is about 5 minutes long that he sent me, but I just wanted to give you guys a quick snippet because the rest of it is a little bit more personal and I wanted to keep it for myself, but I wanted to share that little snippet with you guys because it is just so mind-blowing to me. Like, he is my childhood hero. Like, oh my gosh, it's it's like on the wavelength of meeting Spider-Man. That's how much this show means to me. And that character, Danny Phantom, is one of the coolest characters ever. So, to those of you who are not familiar with Danny Phantom, I am going to give you a brief synopsis on what it's about. Danny Phantom is a Nickelodeon TV show that ran in the mid-2000s, so it went from 2004 to 2007, and the show is basically, English, what are words? Basically about a 14-year-old kid who gets ghost powers from his parents' portal that he goes into. His parents are ghost hunters, kind of like Ghostbusters in a way, although they never catch ghosts. But their son goes into the portal that they made to find ghosts and capture them, but it didn't work. He goes inside, something terribly goes wrong, and he gets ghost powers, so he's half human, half ghost. And throughout the series, he has two best friends named Sam and Tucker, and they all go on adventures to stop these ghosts that are coming out from the portal. And it's such a fun ride. It was one of the coolest shows I had ever seen growing up, and it was very relatable because, I mean, even though I was a young kid when it came out, Danny was in high school, so it was kind of showing what it was like for him to balance his super life while balancing his normal life, dealing with bullies and schoolwork and good grades, and dealing with these ghosts trying to hunt him down while keeping his identity a secret from the world and his parents. It was just such a childhood classic and such a big favorite of mine. The franchise has had a bit of a comeback, unfortunately not on TV, but 2 books just came out recently, 2 graphic novels, which is so exciting. The first book is called A Glitch in Time, and to those of you who know the show very well and can recognize one of the villains on this cover, evil Danny Phantom is back. This book takes place literally right after the finale of the show's conclusion, which is after Phantom Planet, and it literally just takes off right where we left off. Now, before I dive into the bulk of this story and the overall satisfaction I had with it, I want to clarify that I am probably in the minority when I say this, but I am a fan of the finale, which was Phantom Planet, which, saying that in this fandom apparently, is a hot take. Listen, I know season 3 had its quirks, but there was probably one episode in the entire season 3 that I was not a fan of. But other than that, I enjoyed season 3 from start to finish. I really do wish we got more, obviously, but sadly the show was canceled. But unfortunately, the show was forced to conclude with Phantom Planet, so the creator and the writers didn't have a lot of time to whip up a episode. They were probably under a lot of pressure and didn't have a lot of time to really fully flesh out how they wanted to conclude it. Even though it was slightly messy in some areas and a little rushed, overall, I thought it was great. It's not perfect, but it was a really satisfying conclusion, for me at least, as a young fan, and even now watching it again as an adult. I'm going to read the synopsis for you guys, and then I will dive into the actual bulk of the story. After saving the world from the apocalyptic disasteroid, half-human and half-ghost Danny Phantom is finally recognized as a fearless superhero. But when Danny and his friends Tucker Foley and Sam Manson start experiencing time glitches that hurl them throughout history, Danny's arch-nemesis, Vlad Masters, comes to them with dire news. Dark Danny, Danny's older evil future self, has escaped from Clockwork's prison. Danny Phantom must unite friends and foes to thwart Dark Danny's sinister plot. Can they make it back to Amity Park before Danny Phantom's evil future self destroys their world? In short, yes, they succeed, but at a cost. One of the main reasons why I love Danny Phantom so much were the deep messages that the show reflected throughout life and growing up as a teenager, and even now as an adult, they can reflect on your every day-to-day life. But also the humor was great, the animation was so cool, and it was very simple, yet just groundbreaking, believe it or not. So going into this, I was extremely excited, but also a little skeptical, because I know when certain authors get a hold of franchises that we know and love, they don't always do it justice. But the author, Gabriella Epstein, who wrote this, did a phenomenal job at capturing the heart and humor of these characters and the story itself. Not only did she add a little extra lore to the Ghost Zone and other characters, but the overall heart of these characters stayed the same. It was almost as if like no time had passed and we're just seeing a brand new Danny Phantom episode. As the time glitch was mentioned earlier in the series, slight spoilers ahead, so prepare yourself. If you want to skip this, then fast forward ahead when I'm done. Evil Danny breaks out of the thermos because Vlad Masters accidentally hits it. Of course, we love Vlad causing chaos as usual, so Evil Danny merges with Clockwork and tries to take over his body, and of course, which starts the ripples and glitches in time, which is forcing Danny and his friends into all these different dimensions and time warps in history. So and also on top of it, Danny is struggling with his powers. He can't use them fully because of the glitches. It's pretty much everything you would want from a Danny Phantom expected episode or story, and it does a nice job at fixing some of the minor nitpicks that people probably had with Phantom Planet, and really wraps it up nicely in a glitch in time. I won't give away what happens in the finale for those of you who are interested to read it, but like I said, they do succeed in this adventure, but at a cost. Danny has to make a very difficult decision, which again, if the show was to continue, I could totally see it opening the gates because of this little fix. And oh my gosh, this is just little me wanting so badly for this show to come back. But at least we have the books, which leads me into the second book, which is called Fair Game. Okay, I just read the summary briefly from the second book, and fair warning in advance, there's a spoiler on the back here, so for those of you who don't want to know it just yet and want to come back to this video later to hear my thoughts on the second book, then leave and then come back. Here we go, synopsis on book 2. After defeating Dark Danny and creating a new timeline, Danny Phantom is once again public enemy number 1 of Amity Park, and Casper High School has revamped their curriculum to account for their belief that ghosts are a danger to the town. While Danny struggles to find a way to implement his new knowledge of what ghosts are to help them coexist with humans, Valerie Gray is thriving as the best ghost hunter at school. But when the gang's old ally, Wolf, arrives in town looking for a ghost cub, Danny and the gang must help track down this spectral mini wolf before their ghost hunting classmates get to them first. Can Danny help protect these ghosts before they get caught? Or will his past grudge with Valerie result in his end? Much like the first book, I would say the first book focuses more on Danny and his family and Jazz and his best friends. We don't really see too much of his classmates. You do see them, but they don't have a bigger significance in book 1 versus in book 2, it really focuses on Danny's school life. And we really see a lot of the familiar classmates that you see in the show, like Dash, Paulina, Star, and Valerie, as we all know, is Danny's ex-girlfriend. So you can imagine, with a complicated history like hers and his, things are going to be heating up. Also, Danny comes back with an eye. The girl, half ghost, half human that Vlad created in some of the later seasons. She's back. I know she had a brief introduction in the show, and she was only in one more episode before the finale, which was so heartbreaking because I really did want to see more of her when the show was airing. But it's so nice to see her return in the second book. And she has a really big part in this, a very huge role. Danny is pretty much back at square one again, much like how the show continued, and in some previous episodes in the season where he kind of wipes everyone's memory of knowing who he is. So his identity is a secret once again, except from his friends and his family, Jazz, but his parents don't know that he's Danny Phantom. So again, back at square one. The second book is definitely a lot shorter than book 1. I would say book 1 has a little more lengthy detail and a lot of action happening. Book 2 doesn't have a lot going on, but I feel like it's cut a little bit short because obviously she's leaving it off for a potential third book, which is still not announced and gets me a little anxious because these 2 books kind of came out back to back and we still haven't heard any updates. So guys, do what you can to support these books and go buy them, get them online, go to your local Barnes & Noble, or even just go to your local library to see if they have them and read them and review them and leave a review under her website. Anyway, getting back to the story, Danny's relationship with Valerie is very complex, again, like you guys know in the show, and if you don't know in the show, she's a ghost hunter, and obviously him being half ghost, you can imagine how complicated that would be. Both people keeping secrets, even though one kind of knows one has a secret. It's very interesting how it's kind of expanded even more in this book, and how Danny struggles to mend his relationship with Valerie because they didn't leave off on the best of terms and have kind of been on again, off again. They kind of like each other, but can't be together. And they have some beef with each other because she hates his ghost half, even though she doesn't know it's him. And he can't stand that she's a hunter and wants her to realize that ghosts have emotions and feelings too. So it's a really complicated dynamic, but we're here for it. Again, I love the art style that she uses in the book. It's literally like the show coming to life, as you guys can kind of see. Literally just gorgeous pictures, gorgeous shots. Again, it's literally like a continuation of the show. Now, what's interesting about this sequel is while there already have been some twists and turns from the first book, the way this one is setting up for the third potential book is very intriguing because, again, if you know this character, you know originally where he came from Walker, who was in charge of a ghost zone prison and was imprisoning ghosts and tried imprisoning Danny at one point. So obviously he is going to come back in the third book and potentially be the next main antagonist of that story, which will be very interesting if it does happen. And again, if it does, I promise I will update you guys and probably do a review on that book as well. I also appreciated seeing Danny's classmates be a little more active in this book because we don't see them do much in the show besides kind of just run away or get possessed by other ghosts and that take over their body. So they're not even like aware of what's happening. While something similar does happen in this book to them, it was very interesting to see them as ghost hunters versus just teenage kids running away every 5 seconds because they're like, what is that? It's an evil ghost, run away. The classmates that obviously have a huge role in this are, again, Paulina, Dash, Star, and Quan. As you can imagine, they're not very well experienced, kind of experienced, but of course things go south when they try to take control. I will say I was a little surprised that Sam and Tucker weren't as present in this book. I mean, they're in it, but they don't have as big as a role as they did in A Glitch in Time. This story focuses mainly on Danny and Danny with an I and Valerie. So that's like the main focus in this story, and getting Wolf and his friend out of the chaos. Overall, if I had to rate these books like out of 10 stars, I would give them both a solid 9.5. While it is an amazing continuation of the series, I do wish it was a little bit longer. Granted, I know that is the point of graphic novels. They're not supposed to be full out novels. It's kind of just a short iteration of what the story could possibly be if it gets a continuation. But I love them, and being a diehard Danny Phantom fan, this was everything I could have ever wanted from a sequel story. So I really hope again that we get more in the near future. There are a lot of funny moments in these two books that had me laughing out loud. Again, the humor was just on point, and the emotional points were just spot on. Again, I know I probably sound repetitive at this rate, but it really stayed true to the show, which I appreciated so much. If you guys are interested in checking out the show Danny Phantom before you dive into these books, I know it is on Paramount Plus if you have a subscription on there. If not, you can definitely check them out on Apple TV and rent a couple episodes, even though 3 seasons with 20-something episodes is quite a lot of money. So I honestly recommend just getting the DVD itself if you're that interested in maybe diving into it, and trust me, you will thank me later and probably treasure that DVD for the rest of your life. Again, this is like a childhood core memory for me. Danny Phantom was my favorite cartoon growing up. Besides Avatar: The Last Airbender, Danny Phantom was one that I consistently watched every day after school, all the way up till the finale, even later as a teenager, and even now into my adult years, I still love it so much, and it holds up extremely well to this day. Unfortunately, we did lose the creator of the music, the composer, Guy Moon, who just... this show would not be as iconic as it was without him. So rest in peace, Guy Moon. We love you, and thank you so much for creating an iconic theme song as well as iconic music for this show. But yeah, that is my review on the brand new Danny Phantom books. If you guys are interested in checking it out, let me know. I will leave a link in the description below, a link to Amazon, Barnes & Noble, wherever you want to buy it or check it out. Again, links will be down in the description below. Thank you guys so much for watching. Stay tuned for more. I hope you all have a great rest of your day. And until next time, I'm going ghost. Bye.